Hey guys, Caleb with Black Pearl Media. Thanks so much for stopping by. And in this video, we're going to be adding some cleanup crew to our Pico 3.8 gallon desk mate. I really appreciate the love I got on the first couple videos where we unboxed, set it up, and then added the fish into the tank. I really appreciate that. And today's the next step in setting up this reef tank, which is the cleanup crew. So why do you need a cleanup crew? Well, let's talk about it on our way over to Aqua Dreams in Canton, where we go ahead and pick some up.
For most of my aquatic needs, I go over to Aqua Dreams here in Canton, and my boy Spencer always hooks me up with the best corals, invertebrates, and fish. So on this specific mission, we're looking for a cleanup crew. And what a cleanup crew does is it helps maintain your tank's cleanliness at a few different levels. But I'm mainly here for three things, and that is Necarious snails, red leg hermit crabs, and bumblebee snails. Each one of them has a specific job that I want them for. The Necarious snails stay hidden in the sand bed, and what they do is they constantly move around and turn over the sand bed, constantly looking for food and little scraps to eat, and they'll even come out and emerge from the ground when you feed, and it's really funny to watch. They even have like this little snorkel that comes up into the sand, and you kind of know where they are. It's like they're hiding, but not really. So that's our sand sifters. Those are the ones that I really like to use to sift the sand around, and they seem to last quite a while. I think I have the original ones that I had in my 10 gallon like 4 or 5 years ago, I believe, are still alive now in my main display. So they're not very fragile animals. They seem to be very resilient to any, temperature swings or salinity swings or anything like that. Just an overall solid pick for a sand sifter. So Spence, you can see here, he's helping me pick 3 of those out and also bagging up the rest. Next, we'll kind of talk about the red-legged hermit crabs. There's a bunch of different hermit crabs you can get. I like the red legs because they're just really pretty. Their job is to eat all little hair algae and just kind of pick at anything. So they clean up on all levels. They go up on the rocks, they hang out in the sand, and you can just watch them munch on things and clean things and polish things all day long. So I'm picking up 2 of them because they are about a medium size. And they did have the bumblebee snails here, but they had something I'd never seen before, which is a leopard bumblebee snail. So it just has a different pattern on the shell, and I think they're really neat. So I picked up 3 of them as well. You just have to be careful not to overload on your cleaning crew, because if one dies, it's like an atomic bomb of nutrients goes off in your tank. So if you do notice that one dies, you want to get it out of the tank as soon as possible so it doesn't decay in there. Other animals will eat it, but it just gives off a huge amount of nutrients and it spikes a lot of the stuff. And in a bigger tank, that's not as big of a deal. But in a small tank like I have, you need to be aware of that, and you want to avoid a lot of dramatic swings. You want to keep things as stable as possible. So don't go overboard, just get a few of each, and you should be just fine.
And we're back. We got our Necarious snails, which will take care of the sand like we talked about. Our red-legged hermit crab will start grazing on all the hair algae. And then we also have these leopard bumblebee snails, which will also stay on the rocks and the glass and clean that up. So we're gonna go ahead and acclimate them and add them to the tank.
Alright, so I'm going to acclimate these the same as we did the fish. If you guys didn't see that video, go back and check it out. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to go ahead, open these bags, empty out most of the water, as I'm going to float the bags and I don't want my water level in the tank to overflow. Once the bags are sitting in there, I take a big dropper, and for over the next 15 minutes, I'll periodically add a little bit of the tank water slowly as to kind of acclimate them to my different parameters in my tank. Also, the temperature of the water in the bags will match my tank water slowly. That's why you float the bags like this. And once that 15-20 minutes is up, you go ahead and just scoop them up, place them in there, and watch them walk around. The tank's a little dirty, so I just cleaned it up, so you should be able to see them better. Let's take a look at how they're doing.
those clips, and they are doing a great job keeping the tank extremely clean, and they are so entertaining to look at and watch. You see them climb up on the rocks. You can see the serious snails pop out of the sand every once in a while, and they are just something that is key for any size tank that you guys may be getting into, so keep that in mind. And you don't want to overcrowd, like I said. That's important. You know, if you think you know what you need, keep an eye on them. Make sure they're not dying off or fighting each other. And if they do die, take them out of the tank as soon as possible. That's my #1 tip. But you know, you don't need a ton. So there might even be too much in here. It is staying extremely clean. You can see them cleaning all the rocks and everything. I don't want them to run out of food. So I will just keep an eye on that. I might have to move some downstairs, but I think they're good, honestly. I think we got a good amount. They're really, really colorful. The red-legged hermit crabs, you can literally see their legs from like across the room, which I love. It's amazing. So as you can see, I put a couple of corals in there just to test it out. They're doing really well. So we're gonna have a coral video coming up probably in a little while. I wanna take my time, ease my way into that and get something very special. But we'll have more updates on the channel with the tank coming up. But we're gonna be getting into a lot more automotive content, especially with the Z and with a special project that I've been working on for quite a while. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys subscribe, like the video, comment, and I'll see you on the next one.